today.
Yes, sir. Dave, I know it can be tough to bring two punters to camp or roster-wise, but I thought this was a year you might do it. So when did Ariza kind of separate himself, and what did you see from him?
That's a good question. Both of those guys did a great job. Ryan Racal did a great job, the kid from BYU that we had. It was a tough decision. It wasn't really cut and dry, but in the end, Matt was a little bit more consistent, day to day, being a lefty punter, a little bit older. I think, we made that choice to go with it. I didn't want to go into this camp, with two guys because it kind of filters it down for Bucker. I need to get those reps. He needs to get all the reps possible.
How do you like the lefty puncher?
Well, it's a rotation on the ball that returners don't normally see. Now everybody has a jugs machines that's able to turn into a lefty punt, but you just don't see a lot of lefty punters in the league, and they don't catch them a lot. Mostly righties.
It's early here, but who are you eyeing maybe right now as punt returner, kick returner?
Punt returner. If you watch when we warm up, I got like 19 guys out there, but in reality, there's probably 5, 6 guys that could do it. Worthy, no question. Tony's in there, McCole, Hollywood. He's an exciting guy to think about that he could do it, and the guy that's really done a really good job is Nico.
Now you got a couple of weeks. We'll see it next week in the Hall of Fame game. But
Yeah.
I'm excited and nervous even about this new kickoff.
Both. Yeah, I'm excited and nervous about it. To be honest, we've been working on it a lot. We're going to work on it again tomorrow in practice. You work on it in walkthroughs mostly every time. But there's a lot of unknowns with it. How our team's going to attack you. What are they going to do, and what are the kickers going to do? What's going to be the philosophy? So, and how they're going to officiate it too. We have the officials here, and we're going to sit down today, in fact, and watch our tape and have those guys, tell us good or bad what we're doing. So it's going to be an ongoing. These preseason games are going to be important for us.
Strategy-wise, what have you seen just from a couple of practices?
We learned a lot. We've learned that you want to try to kick the ball without a lot of hang time, low ball that goes probably inside the 10, maybe skips into the end zone, the ball that they can't get to right away. If they catch a ball on a line drive at the 10-yard line, it's going to be easy for them to get it out to the 30 like that. So you have to try to kick it away from the returners if you can, skip it into the hit in the target zone and skip it in the end zone, possibly for a touchback where you get the ball at the 20. That's the ultimate goal on kickoff.
What do you think the challenges will be with officiating the new kickoff, like from your conversation with them on the field?
Well, the challenges are going to be if they call a lot of penalties right off the bat and it looks like a crappy play, it's going to get tossed. Like this is a 1-year experimental deal, like for the season. So we need it to be a clean play. So we need to be working together with the officials, early on to figure things out, the small little details of how to align, make sure we're all aligned right, and offsides, that might be an issue early. Holding, if there's too many holding calls, it's going to look like a sloppy play. So, all those things will get worked out through the preseason and early in the season too. It's going to be an ongoing deal.
Is the timing right with, because they can't move until the receiver catches the ball or lands on the ground. Is that a challenge to with false starts?
Yes, it is, especially in a regular season game when everything's on the line. You're going to get real antsy to go, but you have to wait till the ball hits the ground or is touched. Go ahead.
Choosing who does kick off, how do you prioritize a guy that can tackle versus
Bucker's going to be our main kickoff guy. I mean, hands down, he'll be because he can move the ball and do a lot of different things. He's he's our most talented kickoff guy. Other guys that can kick off, Justin, and then Lewis, he'll be able to kick off and be able to cover. So you just want them to just get the ball into the target zone, where you're trying to pin them down there just with a good kick, and you got actually 11 guys cover instead of 10.
Young guys you're particularly eager to see when the preseason starts?
Yeah, I want to see Lewis. I mean, he's number one. I want to see how he handles being tackled and blocking. I love him. I love the way he works, so I want him to do well. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. I'm looking forward to seeing Nico. I'm looking forward to seeing Bozeman, who showed up, linebacker who's done a lot in camp, and Jacobs, a lot of those linebackers. I love the linebacker room. Safeties, I'm excited about them too. Guys like Gillespie and, that whole room really is pretty good. Hicks he's a no-brainer, special teams guy for me. He's a 4-phase starter right now. So he's already our PP on the punt team. You notice that.
Hey Dave, you still have Harrison, and you guys adjust so well. Like the penalty is only the 30-yard line for a long kickoff.
Yeah.
Is there potential, you guys, if there's a bunch of crazy returns, do you guys just transition and say,
Yeah, if we're not happy with our kickoff coverage, we'll go to that. We're going to do what's best for the team. If we feel giving up 5 yards is better than trying to pin them deep with a different kind of kick, we'll kick touchbacks because Bucker can kick touchbacks. He'll hit it out of the back of the end zone.
Do you anticipate that teams are going to lose games in the first month while they're feeling this thing out?
I think the problem is going to be the returns. They have to field every ball now. There's no ball doesn't just die. They have to go down and field it. And the balls that skip, they're going to be hard to handle. There might be some turnovers early. So I mean, you could lose games in this portion of the game, this phase of the game. So teams got to decide what is important, what isn't important. Thanks.
Most unusual off-season. What have been the challenges transitioning from the off-season into this?
This is my sanctuary, baby. St. Joe, year 12. That means I've spent just about an entire year of my life up here in the dorms, man. It's everybody may see that as pretty grueling, but I enjoy it, man. There's something about this place to get you ready every single year, and I'm not gonna lie, got pretty excited as the time started counting down to get out here and get this thing rolling. Big Ed, yeah, Big Ed's out here. He's running around doing some stuff with the foundation, 87 and running, and Operation Breakthroughs, the Ignition Lab, and things like that, and then popping out here to St. Joe in the mornings.
Is this as valuable for you, camp, as it was?
Oh, 100%. It still is. I mean, it's where it all starts. You can say it starts in the off season, and yeah, you want to get that foundation set in the off season of the leadership and the mentality and things like that. But at the end of the day, this is where you really find out what the team is made of, how you sharpen the iron, how you guys practice, your practice habits, the attention to detail, and nobody does it better than Coach Reed and Coach Spags, man.
You mentioned year 12. Are you doing anything different, like maintenance-wise, or is it still just?
I mean, over every single season, you find ways to get better. What works for you, what doesn't, and you just want to amp it up every single year so that you keep finding ways to kind of climb that staircase to success. And yeah, I would say I'm doing some things different, but nothing really in the grand scheme of things. Just putting my nose down and grinding.
Well, I got to ask, as a veteran, and this is not on the field, but as a veteran on the team, do you like some of your teammates and some of the players around the league popping off about just playing 18 games, kind of like negotiating in public? In the media, Joe Burrow talking about, two bye weeks, Pro Bowl in the middle of the season, where they're just like kind of giving owners things away. I know recently the NFL has talked about, going to 18 games, and that's something that the Players Association has talked about now, that they might be open to some negotiations. I mean, negotiating in public where you're not, talking about extended benefits more than 5 years past your retirement, and maybe some type of other benefits health-wise. And are you a fan of that, of your teammates?
I'm more of a fan of the action of it. So we need to get the guys together, and that's why we have the PA. I think that's where we really make differences in the guys' lives now and after football. And sometimes saying a few things gets that awareness out and gets guys talking and things like that. So I'm really neither here nor there, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to a vote with the PA and the league, we need everybody voting on that stuff to really get things, going in our favor in a sense.
You're the veteran. You're, of course, set for life regardless of how a vote would initially take place, but what would you like to see since the last collective bargaining that, players kind of focus on, because this is going to come up, so what would you like to see them focus on?
Man, I would have to really sit down and think about that one. I haven't really thought about much of that. Right now, I'm just happy that I'm in the NFL and I get to play, baby. Much love.
There's a lot of new guys, even on this offense. I guess, the first week now being in pass, just what intrigues you most about what the group can do this year, and I guess what excites you most about the possibilities of the offense?
We just got new pieces. We got new chess pieces, guys that have different, traits, and we're just trying to blend that all together to make the best team possible, both on offense and defense, and obviously special teams. But it's the ultimate, grind session of working together. We have to be more together right now than even kind of, well, I don't want to say during the season, but right now this is where you really build that togetherness, that chemistry, that ability to, lean on each other and fight for each other.
Well, that's going well in camp.
Say it again?
What lets you know that that's moving well in camp?
Well, I think it's just it's set in stone. You know, Coach Reed puts this this challenge in place, and he leads his guys, and the leaders that have been here know how he wants that to be done. So it's really just, you know, you grind, you come to work every single day, and you go to practice with the right intentions. You slowly start to see the team get better and better every single week. I mean, the biggest thing is that we're gonna have to lock in from the jump. You know, I think we had the guys that were. Obviously, we had the guys the entire time. We didn't really make too many moves to bring anybody along during the season. And that being said, you know, we have the guys. I believe we have the guys in this room to get it done. We just got to take it week by week and keep that focus, keep that confidence, that focus, and that alertness to come to work every single day and be able to make those plays like we did later on in the season.
What stands out about all your comments?
His practice habits. Right away, he immediately became one of the leaders on the team on the offense, just by how he's practicing, how he's coming to work, his attention to detail, and that's doing wonders for the wide receiver room, for everybody around. Seeing that guy want it that bad every single day, I mean, it's only going to make you want to work harder. And then on top of that, he's still getting better. You know, he's getting better in this offense, so it's fun to see him grow in this offense as well.
Hey Travis, there was a viral video yesterday. You threw your gloves to a girl with a Taylor Swift shirt on. I just wondered, what was your end of that interaction?
I wish it was as true as the video made it seem.
Okay.
I kind of just threw it in the stands, but you know, sometimes fate, somebody just ends up landing a glove that they didn't know they were going to get.
Travis, Patrick said he brought a TV to camp for the first time because he wanted to watch the Olympics. So, you a big Olympics guy? Any events you're
I love it. I love it. I can watch it on my phone though. It's got to get YouTube TV, guys.
A couple more.
Do you have a score from last night's game between K-State and Texas Tech that Patrick was playing on EA Sports?
No.
Let's go over there.
Travis, are you just as hard on yourself for a mistake or a bad?
I'm my biggest critic. I'm my worst critic. Nobody can tell me, you know, how bad I did on a play. I know it right as the play got over with. I know what I need to do better and everything. It's just you have to have that certain mentality of always finding ways to get better, even when you have success on a play. You know, and that's just how I've kind of went about it. And I got that from Coach Reed, knowing that you can always do things better and you can always make somebody else's job easier on this field.
Last two. PJ for Western. PJ Nathan.
Travis, I know this is a question that's further down the line, but as someone who's going to be, you know, in the legacy of this franchise, do you have an opinion on the stadium? Do you want the team to stay at Arrowhead, or have you thought about that at all?
I guess I guess, you know, Arrowhead's home for me in Missouri right now. You know, I've been there for the past 12 years, so I do feel like it's a part of my heart and everything playing in that stadium out there in Raytown. But you know, the fans want what the fans want. We play for them, so I think it's up to them and in the head of the organization, Clark Hunt and everybody. I know they'll do the best that they can to give everybody what they want and make the best decision for the organization.
Travis, obviously we saw you traveling around quite a bit this summer. Was there anything that you had to do to get prepared for this that was different than, say, year 6, year 7, based on just the obligations you're doing?
I would say for the biggest thing was getting my body right. You know, last year was pretty taxing on my body, and I mean, it is what it is. I've had more snaps than a lot of guys, if not everybody in the NFL, over the past 5-6 years. And you know, I'm very fortunate. I'm very prideful of that. But I know it has taken a toll on my body. So it's just, you know, making sure that my body's getting that rest and that ability to, you know, train harder and be able to withstand an entire 17 to 20 game season.
Is that more like personal trainers? Is that more, you know?
Oh, it's the full gamut. I got guys all over the place. I have my personal PT, and then on top of that, I got the best in the world here in Kansas City. So.
You still work with Skasel?
Yes.
Last one over here.
Speaking of 18-game season, what are your thoughts in terms of where that could go and what would have to happen to make that more powerful?
I know it's a 17-game season this year, and I'm gonna try and make it all the way to New Orleans, baby. Thank you for last year on that article, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Have a good one.
How you doing?
Leo, how's the intensity so far now 2 days of practice?
What's that intensity like going off this season?
Yeah, it's been really good. You know, you see a lot of guys coming out here and competing, having fun. You know, guys who haven't been here before kind of wake up to it. You know, we haven't had the hottest days. We have the hottest days ahead of us, and you know, we're still struggling, you know, physically and putting ourselves in that position, you know, to succeed in the future.
You know, you can do a lot of different things, and Steve is used in a lot of different ways. How do you expect maybe your role to expand now that Willie is no longer with the team?
You know, it's really anything they ask me to do. You know, I have certain strengths, you know, to my game, you know, whether it's getting on the line, addressing blockers. So it's really just doing whatever Spags asks me to do, you know, lining up in the A-gap, on the edge, off the ball. You know, I'm getting more and more comfortable with, you know, the things I didn't do in college. And, you know, hopefully it'll get me more time on the field and, you know, help the team out as best I can.
How much do you enjoy that Joker position, just being able to do a lot of different stuff, just depending on the look?
Yeah, no, it's really good. You know, I work with, you know, George, Chris, Coach Terry all season, you know, some of the off season, working on D-line moves and, you know, trying to put myself in that position and trying to be kind of like, you know, trying to look at like Mike Dana. You know, he's a dude that everyone like respects, look his work ethic and what he can do. So I try to, you know, watch him a little bit because he's a great player, and it's, you know, it's an honor to be able to, you know, step in when it's needed.
You're going against Travis so frequently out here. What are your impressions of him and what he's still able to do out here?
And it's crazy. The most impressive thing is like the energy he brings. You know, whatever year it is, he's been in the league a while. You know, he's still dominating. He's still bringing the energy in OTAs. Like, he's still out here doing everything at a top level, but also like bringing his teammates up with him. You know, this late in his career, it's pretty cool.
You say he brings the energy. What do you mean by that? What leads you to say that? What things have you seen?
You know, it's everything you guys see, man. Whether it's, you know, anytime he's getting on the field, he's pumping us up. Every time we're walking out on the field, let's go, boys, let's go. You know, every great play somebody makes, a singular player, he'll call him out specifically, or, you know, go on the sideline after the play, like, that's great, keep it going. He's so personable, but at the same time, he's a great leader.
Remember your first interaction with him when you first got here?
Oh, first interaction.
On the practice field, maybe, or OTA, or whatever?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like the example I gave, like, oh, like, hey, Leo, let's go, it's time to go. You know, first walk in as a rookie and stuff, and it's like, dude, this dude knows me. He knows my name. You know, he's the greatest tight end in the game. But he's like that. Like, you walk in as a rookie, and he gives you so much respect and, you know, so much encouragement throughout the season, off season.
You've been in 2 years, but 2 Super Bowl titles. How have you been able to, you know, with the new rookie class, kind of instill in them on what this team is looking for, and how has the linebacking core group, you know, kind of brought them in along the way?
You know, it's days like this, you know, it gets a little hot, we get the pads on, it feels a little longer. It's just the encouragement, you know, just like we talked about with Travis. It's encouraging them, like, hey, this is the standard. Coach Spags, you know, Coach Reed expects something of us, and we got to bring it. Like, yeah, we're tired, you know, we're all feeling it. You know, we're on our, like, hands and knees, like, feeling it, and we know we got 5-10 plays ahead of us. That's when you got to, like, dig down and grind, and we kind of have to bring everybody together and let them understand, like, hey, this is what it's going to be like in a game. Like, we got to bring it in now.
You spent much time going through the Super Bowl, the video of the Super Bowl last year?
You know, not a whole lot. You know, I just spent the off season trying to, you know, enjoy time with family and stuff like that. You know, learn from the bad in the game and try to take from the good, but, you know, wasn't trying to, you know, rewatch it a ton.
What are your thoughts about the way you played specifically?
You know, I thought I you know, I did well, you know, getting on the ball, addressing, you know, guards, stuff like that, and being aggressive, making tackles, and really, like, having that extra week in the Super Bowl, you really get to, like, focus in on, you know, emphasizing, like, a punch, you know, somebody carrying the ball, and you get to, like, visualize certain things that you wouldn't be able to in a normal game week, and have that extra time really helped. So yeah, try to bring it forward.
I'm interested in the jump you made from year 1 to year 2. Was that difficult? Was there a revelation in year 2 that you didn't have in year 1? And just thinking about others who are making that jump this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing special, nothing crazy. It's just knowing that I've been here before, knowing that I've been in the position, even going back to the Super Bowl. It's like, it's a Super Bowl. It's the biggest game you can have, but it's like realizing, hey, you know, we got this. Let's, you know, bring in the emotion a little bit. We've been here before, you know, so just teaching the guys, like, hey, like, you know, that's our goal, but just try to live in the moment and, like, you know, act like we've been here before, and just try to think about it that way.
We'll go 3 more. Nate, PJ, and Matt. Leo, they you know, Spags likes to use you more in the postseason than in the regular season at sometimes. How much did that do from a confidence standpoint, and do you feel like that was sort of the first idea of what your role could be for this season? All the details, all the sort of obviously extended roles you play?
Yeah, I mean, when you get thrown into the fire, and the biggest fire is the playoffs, most pressure, everybody's relying on you. That really builds somebody. It builds their confidence. It builds, the habits in games when you're feeling it the most. So it's a great honor when Coach Spags asked me to step up, and like you said, it's like bringing it into the next season and kind of building on it. Because that's the best position you could be in, get called upon.
Leo, a lot of it made of your run defense when you were coming in, and your pass coverage has progressed just ever since you've been here. Is that just more familiar with the playbook, or is that just kind of just learning steadily as you go?
Yeah, it's honing in on details and really listening to Coach Points. Is our Wisconsin defense, we're a top defense statistically. It's like, but we weren't asked to open up our hips and find routes visually with our eyes. This is a whole different defense, and you get time in the system and reps over and over and over again that you wouldn't get in college. You start to learn, no matter how bad you were before, it's like you got to get better no matter what. Like the game's going quick, so luckily I have progressed a little bit, and I want to continue to grow.
Leo, you obviously didn't get to play a ton with both Nick and Drew on the field together at the same time last year. This year, I mean, you're in the base together. What is it like when the three of you are out there on the field? I mean, do you get a different energy? Is there a different camaraderie feel to it? Do you have an identity yet, like you did in college?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great group, and we lost Willie. He was a great dude, great energy, great ball energy. It's just different, and we have a great group of guys here, playmakers across the board, and it's an honor playing against Nick, who's proved himself over and over.